everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting in a Monday edition of Cash or Trash. Yes, I decided to be lazy yesterday and not do this on Christmas Day. Tom did put out this video yesterday, but I decided, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm off. May have very few people join me as a result of that. We will see. But yeah, I normally don't. If I can't do it till Monday, I normally don't do these just because I feel like, we're getting past the time or whatever. But yeah, we're going to hang out and do a cash or trash here on a Monday. If you're having to work and you missed this live, I apologize. But hey, this is how I'm doing it. So with that, for anybody who's new here, what are we doing? What is cash or trash? It is the show. So what I'm channel is probably most known for is the 6-month look back, where I look at the hot comics from 6 months ago and I see how they did and the market and whether or not you've been better off being patient, which if you've been following the 22 is almost always the case. Now previously it wasn't quite as extreme as it's been in 22, but yeah, it's always the case. Hey, Four Color, what is going on? Welcome. And yeah, so I'm glad you're with me. Manny is also here. Good morning. So yeah, but what we do here normally on Sundays is we look at the hot books of this week, or Friday and Saturday and Sunday when those lists came out, and we make predictions sure to go wrong. I look and make predictions for what's going to be happening in 6 months. Sometimes I talk about them for a longer term as well. And how I do that is I throw them into categories. And those categories are straight cash, homie books I think are going to continue to climb in value long-term and over the 6 months. Generally, it's more long-term than 6 months, but not always. We got our worth it books that are probably not that far overvalued, but are probably right about the right value. Maybe a good deal that they'll probably go up a little bit. But yeah, you're not going to do too bad. We got our I'll Be Back books that are the flip side of that. They're about the right price, but if you're patient, you can probably find a deal. It's a trap. These are books that are going to drop 30, 40, 50% in the next 6 months. And yeah, you'd be much better off just being patient and finding a much better deal later. And then last, we got our dumpster fires, which are books that are going to, drop 60, 70, 80%. We have 1 to 2 of these at least almost every week. And yeah, so we're going to, we talk about those in terms of books that just are not good deals right now. Occasionally we'll throw in whatever. The book's not really that hot. Why are we even talking about it? A come on, man, as in what are we thinking about? And, a few other things that we throw in there every so often. See who else is joining us. Bobby is here. What is going on? Bobby De La Ghetto. Jeffrey, I'm glad you caught us. This is an odd time for me to be live because normally I'm at work, but I'm off today. And I decided to be lazy and not do this on a Sunday. So there you go. Brett, welcome, sir. Welcome. Happy Monday to you. Matthew, the cat is not happy with me already because I shut the door because of future. That's probably a good strategy. We'll see. Hopefully the dog's not right here too. Come on. You want nothing to do with me until I go live, and then you're like, "Where are you? Why is the door shut?" It's really more about the door being shut. I think it's really good. Berklar, what's going on? Well, yeah, you can get it in $1, and that's that's always a good thing. Well, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I did not give you attention. Come here. Goodness gracious, somebody is being very demanding this morning. Yes. So, all right. Well, the cat says, "Get to it," is what she's saying. Hey, Southern, what's going on, man? So let's get into this. We got 16 books. We actually had 4 overlaps, which is quite a bit between the 2 lists. So let's see what we got. First up, we got Warhammer Monthly number 0. This is the first Warhammer this is actually a magazine size. First Warhammer in any kind of comics. Yeah, there you go. Cat was mad. He's mad right now. So, hey, Money Right, what's going on? Lee, welcome. So, Warhammer. So, we got news this week that Henry Cavill is attached, and they're going to turn this into a show. And this book has went kind of crazy. If you watched, if you looked at the thing, Tom said it was averaging 25, but sales up around 100. CBSI said 40 to 100 or whatever. And really, it's It's like 10 to 100. There's really there were $10 sales, and then there were like $100+ sales on this book. Whoa! I don't want to do that. No. What? No. I do. There we go. Sorry, I lost my value for a second. Cat, you're distracting me. Really 10 to 100. There was like $9.99 sales plus shipping, and then there were $100 sales. There were $40 and $50 sales mixed in there as well. But this was all over the place based on condition this week. There was an 8.5 that went for $158. There is a sale in there that is listed as non-slab for $998, which I do not believe. I don't believe that's a real sale. But here's the thing. Everyone, I feel like this is a complete overreaction. If you're getting it for $10, you're doing fine. If you're paying $30 or $40, it's a trap. If you're paying $100, it's a dumpster fire. This is a complete overreaction to Henry Cavill losing The Witcher and Superman, and people going, well, he's going to be in this. It's going to be great. I'm going to buy it. And there's no reason to buy this. I find this interesting because I heard nobody say anything about how much they love, hardly say anything about Cavill as Superman until it wasn't going to happen. And then everybody was up in arms. But not to say that you didn't like it before. It's just weird the amount of vitriol I've heard about him losing the Superman job, when generally I didn't feel like I heard nearly that many people talk about. I thought he was a good Superman. He wasn't given much to do, but I'm okay with. We can find a new one. To me, this is an absolute trap. I put it as a trap. I would not. If you buy it on the $10 end, yeah, you're fine. But anything more than that, I think you're way overpaying. Yeah. Weak, and I didn't manipulate the scale. What goes? Well, didn't buy enough of them. Yeah, I agree. I'm old, apparently, though. I think this is a little bit. I think it's just people wanted to be mad. People just like to be mad about stuff too. I think that's part of it. But anyway, I think this is a complete overreaction to him being a part of this. I don't see it doing all that well. I think this is a trap. Next, we got God of War. So we've talked about this multiple times over the last year and a half since it was first announced that Amazon had kind of picked this up. So it officially ordered it the series this week, causing raw copies to jump up to $80. 9.8. We're going 3 to 350. This is a relatively low print. But even if you look at the boys stuff, I mean, even if it has boys level success, this is about the top end of where you really want to be on this. I'm still putting this as an I'll be back, because just because it's ordered to a series probably means a year plus from now, which means people are going to forget again. So I would still put this as an I'll be back. I think people are gonna. I think you got a window here if you're patient, because it's gonna be a while. There's not many of them, so I'm not saying the show couldn't be good. I just think it's an overreaction to how likely it is that it'll actually be made, and an overreaction to him that if you're paying $100 for that book, you're nuts. But yeah, so again, I think this is an I'll be back. I think there's a window. We'll see. I think you're year plus out from actually seeing the show, even though they ordered it the series, because they haven't started filming it yet, haven't started making it yet. My guess is maybe this time next year, maybe probably not till the spring that you would get this from Amazon. We'll see. If my timing is off, then I could be completely wrong here. Next, we're going to move into covers. We got Dark Ride, number 3, the Tony Flex 1 in 25. This was on the list last week at 40 to 50. Which they then said it's not even double. It's a trap. It's going to end up below. In week 2, it got all the way up to $60. Guess what? On a ratio, $60. If week 2 only gets you, doesn't change, even though it's now over double, doesn't change my prediction on this. This is still absolutely, wrong one. It's absolutely a trap. These ratios got to go higher generally in order to hold, and this, I don't think this is it. And I've heard some good things about the series. I have not read it. As you guys know, I wait and read trades on indies. But yeah, it'd be hard to suppress. Manny's asleep. There you go. We're not off to exactly the most exciting start, I will say. Next, here you go. A little Frazetta. Weird Science Fantasy number 29 from 1955. So apparently this is a long overlooked Frazetta cover that has been getting some love. Raw sales were worth $400 recently. A couple of raw sales over $400 on this thing. 50s Frazetta, hard to find in good condition. I mean, I don't know that it's going to, I wouldn't call it straight cash because I don't know that it's going to continue to just climb, but seems like a likely worth it candidate. Can't imagine there's this many of these out there. If there's demand for this, I would think, yeah, now that people have kind of found it and it's kind of hit the market, this is easily into the, wow, a comic, yes. Underpriced forever. Probably was. Is this his, like, here's my confusion. They kind of hinted this was his, like, first. Is this his first cover? Or, in which case, then maybe it's straight cash. But I don't think it actually is. I just think it's an early one. But somebody tell me. Somebody saying classic. I feel like it's just an early Frazetta, being from 55. So, for specialist collectors, that's why I think worth it more than straight cash. Is you got to be a Frazetta person, really, to probably want this. So, next. Where am I at? Oh, there it is. Mandalorian. This is on the list for the second week in a row. This Raza went at 50. Last week it was going from 50 to 60, which is at ratio, which means no, it's not going to be worth anything. And this week it's all the way up to 80, and it's still not even double ratio, which means no, it's not going to be worth anything. Clicking on the wrong thing. Not for. I didn't think so. I think it's just early. That's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, it's a trap. 1 in 50 that's only going for 80. No, it's not. That's not one to worry about. It's trash, Amanda. Hey, lady, what is going on? Oh, you're okay? Watching music videos. That's okay. I was listening to something that almost was late to my own show, so there you go. It's a Buck Rogers reject. Okay, nice. Yeah, I would be patient on this one for sure. This Mando comic is just a retelling of the show. I don't have a huge love for this one. Next, where are we at? Look, Catwoman 50. This is the Sozumaki 1 in 50 foil. So the regular B cover is this cover, but we're talking about the foil version. That's the 1 in 50. That's going for 80 to 90. Did I not just say this? So yeah, it's going for 80 to 90. Not even make a double ratio. Here's the thing on this, and I could be wrong because I just said a 1 in 50 that only got to 80. I called a trap. Suzumaki's had a little better performance on these Catwoman covers than typical. Not a lot. Follows the pattern, but to me, this makes this fall as an I'll be back than a trap. I could be wrong here. Hers typically have followed the pattern, but have outperformed the average, if that makes any sense. So depending on what they go to, they'll fall back, but just don't fall back as much as some of the others you would typically see that only get to that value. So that's what I'm thinking here. That's why I'm saying I'll be back and not a trap. But, I could be completely wrong on that as well. So, and what? Oh, we got Perry in here. Ooh, shiny tricks. Yeah, it is a gorgeous car woman or Catwoman cover. Yeah, for sure. I do like it's got the Michelle Pfeiffer costume design, so it's got that look. I do think that helps it as well. But yeah, I think I'll be back. Not trap, but maybe I'm just showing my own biases there. Next. No, I skipped one. There it is. Sorry. I was like, that's not right. Next is Batman Superman World's Finest, number 10. The Dan Mora Holiday Paul McCartney variant. This was an open order cover. So this is not like was super hard to get. And it's going 20 to 40 right now. I realize I do not understand the love for these crazy hey Mojo. Oh, look, they put a musician on the cover. Let's pay crazy, stupid money for a comic book. What? Fast moving along. Nope. Ugh, man. Yeah. Poor man's Eminem cover. I mean, I like the cover. I know this has been a pretty good run. $20 to $40 for this thing on a regular B cover. Come on. That's a trap. There's no way. Maybe my guess is that it will stay like a $10 to $15 cover, but there's no way that this stays as a $30 cover. There's just no way. It's not. There's enough of them out there. I would be stunned if this stays as like a $30 cover. Merry Christmas time. Yeah, everybody's now singing the Paul McCartney song. There you go. Which is, I will say, play too much, but not nearly as much as that horrible Mariah Carey song. So I like this one more than that one just because they don't play it as much. That's a lot of ramen. Hey, Gore, what is going on? Sir Paul, worth it? I don't think so. Not in this case. But I could be wrong. Next, we got Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 7, the George Perez. So again, there's a regular variant of this, and then there's the 1 in 350 foil, which is what we're talking about. So there's a foil version of this cover. It's a wraparound cover. It's a George Perez tribute cover. 400 on this 1 in 3, this 350. I feel like there's probably a few of the. I went back and forth on this one. There's probably a low enough print on these. The 400, it's hard when you get to this high on a ratio. There's no way to really the value thing doesn't really work as well. Yeah, I hate that song. I probably wouldn't hate it if I heard it 3 times during the holiday season. The fact that you hear it 4,500 times is why I hate it. I think Lady F's right. I went back and forth on whether this was worth it or an I'll be back. I don't think it plummets. I think it's 400 on a 1 in 350, but I think it's still probably an I'll be back. I think the initial, unless this Dark Crisis 7 becomes super important in some way, I think it's an I'll be back. But yes, Perez is a treasure. As you guys can see by my background at the moment, I got a lot of Perez going on right back here. So, but yeah. Oh, Jay Hud doesn't like the Beatles. Jay Hud likes to come into my chats with a hot take. He likes to drop in and drop a hot take. And I can understand that. I think you can respect their accomplishments as musicians without necessarily loving their music, and I think that's totally reasonable. I like some of their stuff, not all of it. So, yeah. Do anything for you. Beatles. Apparently, there's a lot of Beatles hate in this chat. Okay. Hey, 84, what's going on, my man? All right. Next. We're past it. We'll keep moving. Another holiday cover. This is Marvel Treasury Edition number 8. Classic Christmas cover. Somewhat hard to find. These Treasury Editions are Hulk as Santa. Come on now. From 1975. Selling been $40, $50 around Christmas, but I feel like this is totally an I'll be back. This is one of those Christmas time. These Christmas covers go for a little more on the internet, and then they come back. So yeah. Jay Hood is very happy with his accomplishment of getting the chat to hate the Beatles. There you go. Like a great poster. The Perez or this, which is a wraparound, or this one. So 3 bullets. There you go. Lots of people just saying hello. Clueless. I like the Beatles. Thank you very much. I'm just saying. I don't love the Beatles, but I like the Beatles. So there you go. The only one I don't have. Yeah. It's a cool one. I would definitely, but I still put it as an I'll be back. Anything that has to do with the calendar, I almost always put as an I'll be back. When you get away from the season, they just don't do as well. Yeah. Perez on the poster. There you go. Marvel Treasuries are awesome and hard to find. So I doubt it's much of an I'll be back. You could argue it's worth it even at this. At 40 to 50. Next. Oh, look, bad idea with a one shot. Then people are paying stupid money for it. 10 to 30 on this one. You guys know what I think of Bad Idea. Nobody's going to care about this book in 6 months because it's a one shot. I don't care if there's multiple stories. Nobody's going to care. Nobody. These are traps. They're always traps. They're honestly, at this point, anything, if you try to chase anything Bad Idea, it's a dumpster fire. I'm sorry. If you haven't learned your lesson at this point, trash, 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 trash. I think value-wise, I put this as a trap, but if you're chasing Bad Idea, ugh. What a good how's it going? Stray bullets versus 100 bullets. Uh-oh. One, you know. All right. Moving on from Bad Idea. Hey, I'm not even slightly biased about this comic right there. Then I'm pointing out here. I'll just make myself, you know. This comic, that one right there. I'm not biased. So you guys know what I think about this book right now. What are you doing? We got, this is Origin of Deathstroke, First Nightwing. This has to do everything to do with this Dark Crisis finale, which is really centered on those two characters. So book's up a little bit right now, a lot of sales. Raw copies are up more, I feel like, than the 9.8s, but not a ton. 9.8s have been pretty steady at 300 plus. Now they're going for 400. Raw copies have been pretty steady around 100 for really good copies. Now they're 120. I still think this is an I'll be back. I love this book. I think, obviously, my personal opinion is this should be like this at all times forever, and everyone should pay more for it. But yeah, I think right now it's an I'll be back. I think you get away from the storyline. Obviously, the comic's doing well, everything else, but that's a good album. You're not lying. That's a good album. I don't know about much better than the Beatles, but I do like the. So it's a keeper. I would still put it as an I'll be back. If there's a little buzz, I would just wait. It's going to kind of go back to where it's at. Unless the market really jumps this year, we're going to get, it's going to stabilize back to where it's been. So, well, the nice thing is he's been kind of like, it has been him and Nightwing again. So it is putting him back to his proper fighting, the proper characters, and not trying to make him a Batman villain and making him a Nightwing villain, which is good. You cat, you're driving me crazy. So, which I do like, and I like them getting the focus. I don't mind them, the two of them getting the focus in a big event. So, two of my favorite characters. All right, we're moving into spiders. I do have first Tara. She's back there somewhere too. She's like way back there, but yeah. And obviously, I have first Deathstroke there too. So, yeah, 2 contract. That would be sweet. Mm-hmm. Yes, kitty. Oh no. All right. Vault of Spiders. This has everything to do with the poster for Across the Spider-Verse. It's Spider Bite. It's first appearance of Spider Bite, who's on the poster. It's first appearance of Web Slinger, which is like a cowboy Spider-Man, who's on the poster. So 15 to 20 for this. 9.8 hit 80. Come on, man. Like, I realize the timing is the movie's gonna be out right around this time. Do we think either of those characters are gonna play a major role? No. This isn't. They'll show up in the background, but yeah, this is an I'll be back. At 15 to 20 and 80, it's not a trap just because of the value, but yeah. Did I speculate on Teen Titans yet? No, I bought Nightwing's my favorite character. So, like, all these Titans books that I have that are in my background right now are all because I want them, because of Dick Grayson. I'm not specking on them. They got their own show, which I'm grateful for, but I'll believe it when I see it in movie theaters and stuff. But yeah, they're just books I want. So, yeehaw! Yeah, a cowboy Spider-Man who shoots webs instead of guns. If you can get it for $5, get it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, next. Hey, my birthday book. As I just aged myself completely. Spider-Woman #1, first solo title in Origin. There are a ton of really high grade copies of this out there on the market, as Tom talks about. But there's obviously a version of Jessica Drew that is appearing in the show. It's a different version than this version. But Jessica Drew is going to be she's actually going to, that version of Jessica Drew is going to be a prominent character in the Spider-Verse movie. $75 for raw copies, 9.8 at $280. Still put this as an I'll be back because, again, it's going to be, it's not exactly this version. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, to me, if it's Jessica Drew, it doesn't really matter. But this whole Spider-Verse thing has created this whole thing in comics about, is it the first appearance of the right version of this character? Or this exact version from the game? And it's like, I don't care. We're getting a version of Jessica Drew. This is Jessica Drew's first solo story. They're related, but that's just me. I don't need the different ones. Spider Bite, as in BYTE, which is like computer bite. Yeah. Youngster. So, interesting. Caution tape. Well, I mean, it's got to be a really high grade. It's got to be a really high grade. But yeah, so I think this is still an I'll be back. Even with the movie coming out, I think you're still an I'll be back. Because people will be like, it's not the same version. So the way I think about it is, this book is not dated from the month I was born, but it actually hit newsstands so the date is later, but it hit the stands during the month I was born, and that's the way I think about it. So there you go. Yes, the kitty has been all over me today. She's also in the background. You are correct, but I don't think this version is in the background. I don't think this is the version we're going to get. I think we're going to get the version, obviously, that we've seen prominently. Next. Hey, we got Amazing Spider-Man #149, the first appearance of Spider-Man's clone, who ultimately becomes Ben Reilly. He's never referred to Ben Reilly during this story. That's the 90s reboot. But raw copies 180, 9.4 hit 525 this week. No higher sales really recently sold. Ben's focus of this current dark web crossover event, and then he is prominently on the poster as well. We haven't really seen him in any of the trailers and stuff. I would expect him to have more likely chance. I see this book has kind of been fairly undervalued. I feel like it's been slowly climbing anyway. This is one I went back and forth on, but and maybe I'm just biased because my man George, but I'm gonna put this one as worth it. I don't feel like it's actually still down a little bit from peaks from last year when everything was peaking. I think this was solid. I think this is a solid book. There you go. Yeah, I just look for, like you said, you can think about it both ways. Because if you look, and they'll even give you that one website, I forget the name of it, that gives you the dates on stuff to look for birthday books. It'll tell you when it actually hit stands versus what it's dated. So it tells you both things. So, oh yeah, very short fuse. All right, next. More Ben Reilly. We got Web of Spider-Man, #118, the first appearance of the Scarlet Spider. So Ben as the Scarlet Spider. Raw copies 100, 9.8 hit 700. Again, this is still down a little bit. I feel like these two books have both been long undervalued. I think that's part of why I keep leaning toward worth it on these. But I could be totally wrong. But I'm leaning toward worth it on both of these Ben Reilly books. If nothing else, to keep George, when he rewatches this, to yell at me. That's really what it's about. Yes, 84. I'm sucking up to George so he doesn't yell at me in our BitCon. In our Instagram chat. So nice. Very nice. Oh, nice. That would be sweet. That's a good one. Yeah, the Spider-Woman's easily the best book that's either dated from my month or actually came out the month I was born. It's not even really close. There's nothing else really cool from that month. So, and then last but not least, wow, we've flown through these today. We did. Is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 24. First appearance of Hypno Hustler. So, gotta click on the right thing. I don't feel like I have to say anything about this. This is even worse than the El Muerto thing. We're up to $50 to $70. Like last week, it was $30 to $100. It settled it basically at $50 to $70 for this thing. A 9.8. Somebody paid $500 for 9.8 of the first appearance of Hypno Hustler. I can tell you right now, that's way more than $100 more than what I paid for this. If you paid $500 for the first appearance of Hypno Hustler, you are a crazy person. I mean, very first funk rap battle. I think they're gonna get kicked in the crotch when they get it. Well, this is a really good question. Who had it for a 9.8 rating to sell? I mean, well, I get that, but it's not like it's gonna be good. I don't care. I like Donald Glover. What happened to him being a Prowler? He was Aaron. He was in Marvel thing as the Prowler. Give me him as Prowler. I don't need freaking Hypno Hustler. This is so stupid. I don't really comment on a lot of videos. That's just like, I rarely comment. I should. I try to hit the like button a ton, but I rarely comment because I just really do. Good for you. If you bought it for $5, you did good. There's nothing wrong with buying the book. There's something wrong with paying $60, $70 for the book or $500 for a 9.8. That's stupid. Somebody else is funny. No, I'm not. It's complete and total garbage. I truly feel like Sony announcing these things, like this character and everything else, is Sony just going, screw you, Marvel. We have the rights to these Spider-Man characters, and we're going to make the worst ones possible into movies just so people know that they're out. I feel like they're just trolling Marvel. And we're not giving you the rights back. We're gonna keep the rights because we have to make a Spider-Man movie every so often. Like, in order for Sony to keep the rights, they have to keep making these things. So they've made a deal with Disney to let Disney use Spider-Man. So in return, but they have to make a Spider-Man related movie. So this would count. And so, yeah, they have to put one out every so often to keep the rights. This would count as filling that agenda. They're just trolling them at this point. I honestly believe that. You did good. You did good. Yeah, you won. That's right. I mean, we got one appearance, Hypno Hustler. I mean, Marvel has used some like one appearance characters like Arthur Harrow that they use the name, refurbish the character. I get that. But they haven't based a movie on a one-off character. I think this might actually be a two-off. But anyway, now you're mad because you want to go outside. Because you're trapped in here with me. Cat, you were silly. Fat? Look, that guy was fat to you. You must be in fantastic shape. I would never call that guy fat, but I mean, I get it. Some people have not been happy with recent Marvel stuff. I think it's been fine. They're best, but you look back, I don't think any worse than a few of the early ones are just as bad to me. But hey, to everybody likes what they like. And if you're not liking the current Marvel stuff, I completely understand. So, maybe, oh Lord, no. All right. We're talking about Kanye now. So we're going to end this right here. I want to thank you guys for hanging on to hanging out with me on a Monday. I appreciate it. I didn't know how many people would be here for this, but I was too lazy to do it on Christmas Day. So we did it on a Monday. As always, thank you for watching the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, so lots of stuff to come back later on. That's really the moral of the story every time. Yes. A belated Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate, and a Happy New Year to all those coming up this week. So, and with that, we're going to get out of here. Let me get this off of here. Later, everybody. Whoa, maybe. Where's that? I guess I clicked on the wrong thing.